Hey everybody, Keith here from Wordwalkers, and I don't know about you, but after last night's mandate speech, I'm frustrated. And you know what? I want to talk about it, so let's talk. Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Talk. My name's Keith, and I'm just so glad you could be here today. I don't know about you, but after yesterday's speech that Joe Biden gave on the mandates that this country's supposed to be falling under, I was angry. To be honest with you, I was angry. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I still don't want to have anything to do with it. But I'll tell you what, it's more now frustrating than it is anything else. I don't know how we don't see this as Christians. I mean, I've read Revelation 13, verse 16 over and over and over and over again. We are literally, I don't know how she can put it. Revelation 13, 16 is not just happening in America. It's happening around the globe. And, that's that verse. He causes all, both small and great, right? Rich and slave, free and poor, right? All these different things to take this mark. Now, I'm not saying this, and I don't believe this, that the vaccine is the mark of the beast. I don't believe that. I believe it's a stepping stone to the next phase, because I believe that once we finally do get to the place where we're kind of like in Switzerland, where they all walk around with the little chips in their hands, and they just, you can look it up. They're a cashless society, and everything is done by a microchip that's placed in their hand, and there's a whole 60 minutes segment on YouTube if you want to look it up yourself. But that's how it works. And I think that's the direction that'll go in eventually globally. I've talked over the last year and a half about the entities that are out there, the billion-dollar corporations that are out there that are right in front of you, right? Pushing forward this agenda to, like the ID 2020 Alliance. They want to make sure everyone has a digital ID. What? How do you not see that we're walking right into this? And the other thing that kind of gets me frustrated about all of this stuff, especially here in America, is like, when Macron over in France announced all of his mandates, the next day the people in France were like protesting by the thousands in the streets. It was the same thing in Greece. It was the same thing in the UK. It's the same thing that's been going on over in Australia. And if we're not praying for a group of people, the folks that live on the island of Australia need our prayers, because that government's gone bats. I don't know how they've just gone nuts. And that could easily become anyone else coming next. Anyone. And I'm sorry, but and I don't think I'm a political person in that aspect of it, because I try to look at everything through the lens of, I have a biblical worldview, and so I don't care really political, Republican, conservative, left, liberal, Democrat, whatever. But when I don't see stuff that makes sense, and all I do see is stuff that doesn't make sense, something triggers in my head. And haven't we watched enough bungling in this current administration? And I don't normally talk politics. I don't know that I'm talking politics other than look at what's going on. I looked at it and said to myself yesterday, everything that this administration should have done, they've done the opposite. Okay? For instance, and I'll list a few things here that I noticed just off the top of my head as a normal guy on the street. I'm invested in cryptocurrencies. I'm in the crypto market. Okay, I've got a few holdings in there, and the beginning of this year, the SEC slapped a lawsuit on one of the ones that was about to break out and become, I believe, a premier crypto. The XRP lawsuit, for any of you that know any of that stuff in the cryptocurrency. Ripple and XRP are making this administration's SEC department look like fools. If you follow this at all, I'm invested in XRP, so I have a vested interest in watching what's going on. And they are literally making this SEC look dumb. That's one, okay? But here's the other one. Like, you're going to mandate somebody to get a vaccine to go to work? Or be tested? You know? What? Again, Revelation 13. Why would you do that? When it's against the Constitution, number one, right? The foundational principles and laws of this country. We created this country. Our founders came over from across the pond, so to speak, to have a free country. Not to go back to the things that we were over there. But you have this, so you have this in the money markets where complete debacle. They look dumb, but I'll tell you why. They threw the lawsuit, in my opinion, I'm going to say my opinion, they threw the lawsuit at Ripple because China already has a digital currency. And that's what they use. It's called the yuan, I think is what it's called, the digital yuan. And America doesn't have one. Now there is one being listed on Coinbase, which is a trading platform called the USDC, the United States Digital Coin. It's a dollar, it's a dollar a coin. It's a stable coin. It's a stable coin. But they tried to slow everything down so that they could get caught up. I mean, this is how far behind America is in this. The Bahamas, they have their own digital currency. It's called the sand dollar. I mean, that's how far behind we are, and that's why they threw a lawsuit at them. But I believe that once this lawsuit's over with and the SEC's made out to look like the clown in the corner, then it's going to take off. That's one. How about the border? You're talking about mandate, and let's tie these two together. Mandating vaccines for Americans and our border, because we're allowing thousands of people a day through our border now, wide open. Come on in. And they're saying statistically, from what I've seen, it's anywhere from 12 to 17% of the people that cross our border have COVID, are positive COVID. But you want to tell an American to go get a vaccine. The logic anywhere? I don't know. We had a good thing going when the border was, shut, and you had to come in through the door, right? I think there's a biblical principle where the thief comes in over the wall to steal and to destroy, right? We come in through the door. That's where salvation is. Jesus says, I am the door. You come through me. That's a biblical principle. Sovereign nations have borders. And they're protected. I don't understand why we don't get that on the left side of the political parties. But that's another, that's three things right there. And what the world? Afghanistan was a disaster. There are still hundreds of people in Afghanistan, whether they are allies to us or American citizens. This is what's being reported on the news. And we left them there. I don't know about you, but when do you get involved? Right? When do you get involved? And I'm not telling you to go fly a plane, and I'm not telling you to go to Afghanistan. I'm just saying, do what you can do. Right? I can't do that stuff, but I got involved. I gave money to a movement that is trying to get these people out of there. I gave to a group called the Nazarene Fund. I believe in what they do. I believe their integrity, and I know that they're going to do the best that they can to get those people out of that country. But why would you? Well, I know why. It's God's plan. Why would you open up Afghanistan? So that the terrorist groups can have a home place again. You got that going on there. You're trying to renegotiate with Iran to give them nuclear power. Does any of this make sense? Hello? If anyone is listening to this and has any kind of agreement with me, please comment down below. Because I'm going to tell you something. We're about to get tested like never before. Like never before. And this may not become anything, this whole mandate speech, because I don't know how much of it you can do legally, period. But nonetheless, shots fired, right? Shots fired. And that bothers me. And we have to be prepared to give an answer for the hope that we have. I just want to close with another couple of scriptures here, because you need to mark yourself with him. Because I was reading again in Revelation where the bowls of God's wrath are poured out, and the first bowl is sores and skin like just skin infection and disease. And when you look at I don't want to get into When you look at some of the side effects of the jab, just take a look. I believe we're being warned. Spiritually, I think we're being warned watching these side effects. Because it says, those that were marked with the mark of the beast, and that's what they got. In the first bowl of God's wrath. In the book of Revelation. But ask yourself this question: how really deeply rooted are you with the Lord? Are you ready for what's about to take place? Listen, you don't have to believe a word I say, call me crazy, whatever, I got it. It's what I believe. If I see the Word of God happening in front of us, look, if you go back through the videos, I showed you guys stuff happening, and then reading the scriptures as if it was right there in front of you. But you have to be willing to pay attention. And I do also want to say one more thing. I'm leaving YouTube. I'm going to Rumble. Okay? No more YouTube videos. It's all going to Rumble. This will be the last video that shows up on YouTube. Everything else is going to Rumble. I looked up my channel on an independent computer, and all my videos except for like 3 or 4 of them were marked as inappropriate content. I don't play that game. Anyway, so I'll go somewhere where free speech is allowed. And hopefully you guys will go with me. In Matthew's Gospel, chapter 7, verse 21, Jesus makes this statement: "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, 'Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, and done many wonders in your name?' And then I will declare to them, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness.'" You look like a Christian, you smell like a Christian, you walk like a Christian, but there ain't no Christian in you? Is that where you are? Listen, I've said it over and over in this video. Be prepared to give an answer for the hope that you have. What do you say? I guarantee you some of you went to work today, or you got around the people that you get around on a daily basis, and someone made mention of that. Where were you at in the conversation? Where were you at? I know where I was, right? Had that conversation with 2 different people today. I was prepared to give an answer for the hope that I have in myself, and I let them know that they wouldn't be alone. They weren't alone. We'd go through it together. And in these days, I am setting up a network of friends who follow the Word of God, who follow the things that are going on, making sure that I have a group of people to be around who are like-minded and understand what's happening. It's time to pull our heads out of the sand, Christians. It's time. No more of this foofy-foo-foo stuff, right? The time for reality is now. It's time to wake up. I don't know what it's going to take to get you to understand, but we're walking right into Revelation 13, and I'm not going to go into it with blindfolds on. Well, I got a chance to share my heart, some of my frustrations, and I appreciate you listening if you're gone along this far. Don't forget to check me out over on Rumble, because that's where all the videos are going after this one. Until the next time we talk, guys, take care of yourselves. Keep looking up. He's getting ready to come back, or he's getting ready to start the process of coming home to get his kids. Guys, I love you, and I can't wait to see you next time. Until I see you then, take care. Peace.